Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of #Anime Talk. Sorry we're a day late, but look, we still got episode 60 out to the people. I'm joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Chris SJE, and from what I'm seeing, he holding up. It looks like he's past Dressrosa. Looks like he's in the zoo.
I'm on chapter 805, man.
The
That's literally
minx.
where my bookmark was. My bookmark was. So I'm on the back of Zal, which I did not know was gonna be a living, moving island. For everybody who, I'm saying, spoiler alert for One Piece.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me. What's our guy's name? Ned, I think his name is Ned Guilford. And everybody else besides Ned, who
I
is
don't know
not
what
caught up,
Makai is.
who's not caught up on One Piece.
Otaku guys in Punk Hazard. I've been seeing Otaku guy post Punk Hazard shit.
Y'all need to skip ahead 5 minutes. Just skip ahead 5 minutes. We're gonna talk about this real quick for everybody who's not caught up with One Piece, at least to Zoe. Skip ahead.
I'm literally right there on fucking chapter 805, volume 80 or whatever. So if you ain't past that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what episode that is.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if you're not on Zoe, skip ahead. Like, just skip ahead.
Like,
that's the easiest way to say. But wait, let's count them down. 3, 2, 1. All right, we good. Yo, what'd you think of my favorite arc of One Piece?
I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I give
best arc in One Piece, bro. It is the best.
I still put Marineford over it a little bit, just because just kind of fuck with what happened in Marineford. That shit, it stood out to me. You know what I'm saying? And it had buku moments to grab.
I don't know what it is about me, man. Marineford to me is good, but it's spectacle, and it's like, I like the thing that I really fuck with One Piece. Both Enies Lobby in Dressrosa, we see the gang push to the ultimate limits. We see them push to like, oh, you niggas might take a L. Like, y'all better come through, break through. And unlike the Sabunde Archipelago, where they lost, both of those they pull out in the end. They have great villains, Rob Lucci and Doflamingo, both respectively. We see Zoro have a big moment in both arcs, Pika and against Kaku. We see Luffy get in Enies Lobby, he gets Gear 2 and Gear 3, and then in Dressrosa, he gets Gear 4. We got great Usopp moments in both Soge King and God Usopp.
The Usopp. Like, the Usopp shine in this arc for sure.
And the only thing that you add to Dressrosa that Enies Lobby doesn't have is you get some law action. And the fucking Straw Hat Grand Fleet. I fuck with all of it. And the only thing that's like Dressrosa that people maybe is Sanji leaves, so Sanji doesn't get a fight. You know what I mean? Like, Sanji fought Doflamingo, then he dipped out to Zoe with Nami, Brook, and Chopper. But don't worry, their arc is coming right after Zoe, so you'll see all that. But what'd you think of Doflamingo? What'd you think of Law? That you now that you've seen this, you have an idea of Law, the character. You have idea of Dofi. You see, basically, this is the Punk Hazard is the start of Wano, in my opinion, because all of this is the plan to take down Kaido. And the smile fruits, the bad, all of that shit. You see Sabo and the revolutionary. Sabo gets the Marimara no Mi. Shit is litty. You see Jesus Burgess doing some shady shit for Blackbeard, coming in, trying to get some devil fruits for his clique. The world is expanding. So just, what was your thoughts on Dressrosa?
I fucked with it. I definitely fucked with the whole beginning of Dressrosa, the whole, the little tournament, the little gladiator kind of tournament arc, little thing, mini arc. I love seeing the whole Usopp. At first, I didn't really like the little, I forget their names.
The Tontadas?
Yeah, the Tontadas. I didn't really fuck with the Tontadas at first, but then I grew to love them, you know what I'm saying? And then they kind of like worship Usopp on some shit. And Usopp could have bitched out. I thought Usopp was going to bitch out. I lost respect for him at the end when he was about to, but then he came through in the clutch. And
not the God, not G.O.D.,
he deserves all this clout,
baby.
You know what I'm saying? And he went from Soge King, you know what I'm saying, Sniper King Usopp to being God Usopp. So I love the fact that he's coming from this character that like lies and like, I'm the God Usopp. I got 100 soldiers, you know what I'm saying?
He's he does, bro.
Pirate captain, and now he's got that clout. Like his bounty is up there. His bounty's over Frankie's, you know what I'm saying? And like, Frankie was putting in work, bro. Frankie was doing shit. Like,
Frankie actually whoops niggas' asses.
And bro, I read that and I watched it because I've been watching certain
parts of it.
Really just reading it. Yeah, I watched a lot of fights. I watched a lot of the backstory between Law's backstory and Doflamingo's backstory. I read that and watched it. I watched a lot of shit go down, especially towards the end of the arc. But for sure, I love like the whole Usopp, the way it played out and everything, how he got his bounty up and shit like that. I feel like I feel played that Frankie's bounty didn't go up more. You know what I'm saying? But that whole bounty scene was just iconic. How fucking Bartholomew was like, I need y'all to sign these bitches. You know what I'm saying? They was like,
Yeah.
they're on Bartholomew's ship. I'm like, just the whole ending of the conclusion of the arc as a whole was just amazing to watch. You know what I'm
The
saying?
Bardo Club.
That shit, it was so fun to watch them try to do the whole alliance thing, because it's like, bruh, I'm sitting there thinking that they're about to literally seal the deal, but Luffy's like, I don't really need no fucking alliance. I'm doing what the fuck I want. He's like,
And
I'm
they was
Gucci on
like,
this shit.
all right, well, we're still gonna follow you because we know you don't give a fuck either way how it goes. So we still just
Yeah,
gonna
for
be
sure,
gang.
for sure.
And then
So they low
Zoro,
key still are his like followers. It's like his like disciples.
technically, they're Zoro's followers because Zoro drank the sake.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
If we want to be honest, but
Zoro says, nigga, this is Saki. He says, say less.
So okay, you fucked with Usopp, which I thought was amazing. Would you think of the Zoro getting his hockey, getting his big attack, defeating Pika, moving his way?
I didn't like Pika at all. I was so satisfied when Zoro finally beat him, but Pika was so annoying. Like, he was killing me the whole time, bro. I was like, man, kill this man, bro. He's like super fucking annoying. You feel me?
That is a fact. And the final thing I'm gonna ask is, what did you think? Because it took us 700 and something chapters to get to Luffy really booting up, and you get to see Gear 4 for the first time. What did you think of it?
For sure, I love Gear 4. The concept of it is dope. The whole aesthetic of it is dope. I like it a lot compared to the other ones. And at the same time, he was super strong, and the fight was super iconic with him and Dofi, but the fight with Dofi and Law stood out to me a lot too. You know what I'm saying? When Law did the what was the attack Law has?
The gamma
attack.
knife?
Gamma knife. You feel me? Because I know they get on my ass for it. You know what I'm saying? I know you're gonna be mad at me, but I've been playing Jump Force, and they give you the DLC characters with the Switch Jump Force. I've been playing this Law a lot. And Gamma Knife is like my most used attack. I think on my created character, I got the Gamma Knife as my special attack right now.
If you want to lose money, then go ahead, my friend. I'm not stopping you. Go do your thing if it makes you happy. Funny enough, I re-downloaded it to my PlayStation just to see, am I tripping? I played it for like 2 rounds, and I was like, yeah.
Man, see, I was playing it the other day, bro, and they had like a whole, because Todoroki's a part of the new DLC. They had Todoroki in there, and it was like a part of the missions or whatever. And it's like Yusuke and Todoroki had like a weird altercation, and then they had to scrap. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there like, man, only in Jump Force will you get Yusuke versus Todoroki and just banter between them. It was just, I felt like it was worth it. Especially, I wish I wouldn't have bought it for the PS4 and just waited for the Switch drop, because the Switch drop, it dropped with the DLC, so you get all the characters that they were taxing for. Like when we bought the Ultimate Edition for Huncho, it came with the DLC characters.
Yeah, dude.
But if you didn't buy that, you had to cop the DLC characters. With this one, you just cop it. It comes with the DLC characters already. And it wasn't extra. It was just like $40. I want to say $40 or $50. Like, it was less than the PS4 game. So I wish I would have just waited around. Next time this kind of game drops, I'm not gonna be copping for PS4. I will be waiting until the Switch drops, because it's gonna be cheaper and it's gonna have. So
are you just officially a Switch gamer now?
I think so, man. Like, the last game, the only times I get on the PS4, and this is very rare when I get on the PS4, but I got on the PS4 recently to play J-Star's Victory VS. To see, I always compare Victory VS
that
to
game's amazing.
Jump Force, and I love it. I wish we would get a Jump Force Victory VS fusion kind of game, but that's wishing a lot from Bandai. But they're just gonna keep milking Jump Force. Like, my best hope is that they keep milking Jump Force and giving us DLC characters every once in a while. Like whenever the Chainsaw Man anime and Jujutsu Kaisen drop, we get them. We get Tanjiro.
My guys still got big hopes for them, bro. If we not getting Chainsaw Man and JJK if we don't have Demon Slayer, like,
but that's what I'm saying. Tanjiro got to be next rollout. Like, the next rollout has to be.
And I don't even see that happening right now, because they're putting out. I hope the new Yu Yu Hakusho characters, either Hiei or Kuwabara or somebody.
I'm sure it's gonna be Hiei for sure.
They're still putting out like DLC characters that were supposed to be part of the original game. The only character that they've dropped that really impressed me was Meruem. That's the one where I was like, okay, didn't see this coming. That was one where I was like, this is a good surprise, but it's also should have been like, maybe y'all should have did P2 instead of Bisky. I'm still on that wave, but at least we got Meruem. That's the only thing that shocked me. Everything else was like, Madara was supposed to be in the OG game. Law was supposed to be in the OG.
Yeah,
like,
but see, that's the thing. When you cop it for Switch, all that just comes with it. Like for the people who didn't cop it for the PS4 and who just cop it for the Switch, you getting the A1 game because the villains are playable. You can play as the villains. You can play as all the DLC characters from All Might to Law. You don't have to like unlock them or nothing like that. So you get more than like right now. What I got is more than what I had. I don't think I downloaded. I stopped playing with like All Might, Bisky, and Kaiba. I didn't play as none of the other DLC after. So I didn't get to play as Madara. I didn't get to play as who was it? Grimjaw,
yeah.
Law, and I was just playing for them for the first time, playing as them for the first time on the Switch, and that's how like I was just so happy I copped it at that point in time too because I just finished Dressrosa, and I'm like Law is my nigga right now because like he got his shit rocked a lot in Dressrosa. That's the only problem I had with him. He did not catch no W's, and he was just coming off of Punk Hazard and shit. He did the most badass shit I've seen thus far in One Piece.
When he cut that mountain.
Well, no, I'm just saying like how he low-key called fucking Dofi's hand, set him up, like made him like get rid of his shit, and that was just like badass to see. And then all of a sudden you get to Dressrosa, and it fucks everything up. Like all his plans go to shit. He gets his ass whooped. He can't do nothing really. He tries, and he does do some integral shit to the plot or whatever, but Luffy takes the W at the end of the day, which is rightfully so. It's Luffy, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You knew it was gonna happen.
See, man, seeing everything with Law is a D in his own right. He's his own captain, but there's a part of me that wishes Law was a Straw Hat. There's a part of me that's bro, you should definitely be a Straw Hat. But I'm okay with the relationship if they have a Gold Roger Whitebeard relationship where they're like homies. I don't, but see where Whitebeard and Gold Roger fought. I don't think we'll ever see Law and Luffy fight because Law knows the deal. Like Law knows.
Yeah, they gang, bro. Like they cool now.
Like y'all are just associates. Whereas I think we'll see Eustace, Captain Kidd, and Luffy be more of the fighting like rivals, where Law and Luffy is just like, all right, y'all are cool. People think some things are gonna happen with Law coming up, but we're not talking about that. Let's get in, well, because I don't want to spoil anything till you get caught up. But we're so close. We are so close, and the people are asking for us to do One Piece content, so that's coming soon enough. But let's get into today's show. So Crunchyroll has put out the trailer for their new webtoon that's going to take over for the fall season right after God of High School starts. It is Noblesse. And Noblesse to me just looked like the Vampire Mafia anime. And I kind of dig it. I kind of dug it. It's straight up 2D animation, like classic 2D animation. It's these vampires look like they got all these powers. They're toting pistols. They got mafia-looking niggas. I don't really know too much about it, but it looks cool from the trailer. I'd watch it. Crystal, what'd you think of the Noblesse trailer?
I'm definitely gonna peep it because I'm Crunchyroll strong right now. Like I got my Crunchyroll up. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching nothing but like fucking literally the shit that we watching, like God of High School, Tower of God, all the like Crunchyroll exclusives. Every time they drop one, I'm here for it because they haven't really missed so far.
They haven't missed yet. No, and okay, so the plot. Noblesse is about a powerful noble, Cadis Razio, who has been asleep for 820 years with no knowledge of mankind's advancement. At the start of the webtoon, Ra wakes up in an abandoned building in South Korea, starts to get used to the modern world. He goes to school where he reunites with his loyal servant, Frankenstein. With Frankenstein's help, Ra enrolls into high school, inadvertently befriending an athletic teenager, a computer geek, and a girl by the name of Yuna, and a few others. Noblesse follows the group dangerous adventures while battling against a secret organization while uncovering Ra's past. So yeah, like monster and vampire mafia type shit, dudes in high school. I can dig it. I can get down with it. It looked cool.
I'm definitely gonna give it a shot for sure.
And look, if it's good, that'll be on the rotation with JJK for the fall. Funny enough, all these things are just lining up real quick. Before we get to new stuff, I'll wait for the discussion. I'll just wait for the discussion to bring that up because that's some of the stuff I've been watching. But the next up, when we could talk about the manga as well, we got the Burn the Witch trailer. Taiko Kubo Sensei's new work into Shonen Jump. What'd you think of the trailer, and what's your thoughts on Burn the Witch so far?
I love the trailer. I read the one shot, and then I read the first chapter. I have not read the second chapter yet. I know it's out, but I just been kind of reading a lot. I've been reading all type of random shit. But at the same time, I love the characters. I love Noel. I love Nini. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Nini's probably my favorite right now.
Balgo, I love Balgo. They're all like some dope ass characters in their own right. You feel me? And I love the world and how it could possibly take place in, you know, the same
Oh,
world as.
it not could, it does.
But you know how like sometimes you'll get like a spinoff and you'll question if it like,
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? It like it feels like they're not. It's some different shit. It's like some complete different area. I love how it takes place in like reverse London or whatever. I love how you're getting the lore of the Bleach world and just this whole universe that Kubo's bringing about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And that's why, for me, I kind of want it because we find out that this first we thought it was going to be an anime, then we thought it was going to be an OVA, then it was a movie. It's kind of like a mixture of a movie and an OVA, and it's only going to be doing the 4 chapters of the limited run. I want Kubo to expand the run. Like, I really am enthralled to these characters. And then in chapter 1, when you show us the leaders of like the reverse London sect or the Western branch of I guess quote unquote the Soul Society, and you basically show us the rival Gote 13 with the top heads of all the different branches, like Roy B. Dipper and all those, and like Brago, whatever, the blue haired dude, and the old man, like and Harry Hilk, the dude blowing his bubble. Like, I want to see all of that. Like, I want to know. You can't just introduce these cool ass character designs and just drop it off. I really hope they give Kubo a full like series long thing, but I think that'll be up to how much we as the fans support it. And that's something where we saw with Kishimoto, they gave him the full fledged and they realized that fans didn't support it, so they had to cut it. I think with Kubo, they're going to test the numbers based upon this. And if the numbers do well, I could see him getting one, because there's no way you introduce all this and not have a plan.
and see, like, imagine, you know, Kishimoto didn't do well. You know what I'm saying? Kishimoto was going to full volume. I think there's like 5 to 6 volumes of Samurai 8 out, if I'm
Something
not
like
mistaken. But you know, he got the short run, he got the snip. You hate to see it. You hate to see Kishi get the snip. But at the same time, they're like, let's not give him a full manga. Let's give him like a quick, you know, like people gonna be excited to see Kubo back. Let's see what it does before we commit to anything. So it's like 4 chapters. Because at first it was like 1 shot, and after the 1 shot, it's like 4 chapters. And after the 4 chapters, you know what I'm saying, we getting the anime adaptation. I'm sitting there hoping, you know, me being just fanboy Krista, you know what I'm saying? I would love to see at the end of this 4 chapter run, at the end of this OVA movie type deal, you get something kind of like a teaser to be like, does this connect to the Bleach world? No, maybe. And it's like something where it's not concrete, but it like kind of teases at something. And then he does kind of end it, and it ties up with these 4 chapters and this one OVA.
Well,
it ties up to be its own thing.
In chapter
and start
1,
something new.
In chapter 1, it says like on the one of the bricks, it's like the Western branch of the Soul Society, and it shows like the fucking graphic or like the emblem of the Eastern branch, which is the Japan Shinigami branch that we know. So like, this shit
I'm looking at this like
super tied.
I'm looking at it to be like, you got Bleach as the main series, and you got this as kind of the spinoff, and it just kind of shows you what's going on in the UK, right?
Yeah.
So he has one, like, imagine another one drops later, and it like highlights what's going on in America and maybe another country or whatever, and you get like these little one-off spinoffs, all for them to like be lightly connected to Bleach, each one build his own like MCU of what I'm trying to get at. You know what I'm saying? Like you see all these other not multiverses, but all these other side stories get opened up, and then at the end you bring it all back and you connect them all and make it a big thing, like to where the big world, you get all the big main characters. I feel like that would be pretty dope. And I hope that's what Kubo is leading up to, but it might just be some experimental shit. You know what I'm saying? You know,
either way, whether they do that or they just expand Burn the Witch, I'm here for it, because we always say this, out of the big 3, Kubo can do character designs, and these characters look absolutely amazing. Like, shout out to my guy, Roy B. Dipper, black dude looking all suave as hell with his suit on, looking like a $1 million. And my guy, Harry Hewlick, the blonde-haired Brit, looking like a Beatle member blowing his bubble. Like, these characters just look so dope. And I'm invested in Burn the Witch. I've read both chapters, and they're fucking good.
The dragons look fucking dope as hell too.
Yes,
like
they do.
Design for the dragons, all the different designs. That was one of the first things that enthralled me about the one shot. You see all, like, whenever they first introduced, like, dragons come in different forms, and then they showed a bunch of them on one page. I was like, oh, or like a spread. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So this is really about to be a dragon anime. Like, it's called Burn the Witch, but it's on some dragon shit. So
Magic
I was like
Dragon,
hype as hell.
all that shit. So I'm into it. Can't wait till we get the Burn the Witch movie. Next up, the final news story we have is Crunchyroll has announced a new membership tiers for its streaming service. The website will have 4 tiers in the United States. These tiers are free, fan, mega fan, and ultimate fan. So this is what you get with each tier. So with the fan tier that costs $7.99, a similar price to the what we're normally paying right now, to the current premium membership. This tier has no advertisements. All the new simulcast episodes will be available, and yeah, it's basically the same thing you have now. Okay, so then the mega fan tier for $9.99 includes everything you already have if you pay for premium. Then you get offline viewing and access to 4 streams going at one time. The next thing you have is members will also be able to get a $15 discount off of any $100 purchase from the Crunchyroll store every 3 months. The next one is the Ultimate Fan tier for $14.99. It will include everything that you already have plus the Mega tier, and then you'll get offline viewing and you'll get 6 streams at once. You'll get a $25 off of a $100 purchase every 3 months as the Crunchyroll store, and then you'll get like exclusive member only merchandise sent to your house and like swag bags and whatnot. I don't know if this is enticing enough for me to get more than the premium to leave my VRV account. I don't know. I don't know.
Now see, I got the premium tier, but I get my VRV through Crunchyroll. So I'm like signed up through Crunchyroll. I got my VRV. I got my Crunchyroll. The only thing that sounds enticing to me is the $15 off every $100 purchase every once in a while. And
Yeah.
I'm not a ballaholic. I don't make $100 purchases from Crunchyroll every week or so. But I do shop with Crunchyroll. Like I bought that $60 bag. Excuse me. I bought a few things from Crunchyroll. I bought like some Gundams. I bought a bunch of Gundam figures. Like some like the model Gundams or whatever, but it was the SD ones. And I bought a few of those off of Crunchyroll. And if they knock $15 every 3 months, you knock down 15 off 100, that might entice me to buy a $100 purchase. Cause I cop a few things that's like 60, you know what I'm saying, maybe 40, whatever, cop a couple manga volumes or whatever. So if it adds up to 100, they knock $15 off. I'm with the sales, you feel me? Especially if it comes with the offline viewing, because a lot of like whenever we had this hurricane, last week, the power was out. So I had my portable chargers all charged, so I could have my phone charged forever just in case the power goes out. I had my laptop fully charged, which is gonna last like a few laptops charged, so I could just alternate between laptops. So what I did was I downloaded a bunch of manga on the Shonen Jump app, so I could just read even offline. Because if the power goes out, the Wi-Fi shuts down, I'm gonna need to be able to read something. So I downloaded Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, caught all the way up in Chainsaw Man over the course of those 2 or 3 days. But I had a lot of shit just downloaded, so that does come in handy sometimes, having the offline view. You feel me? The only thing about that is whenever it's saved to your device, that shit could add up as far as space. So you're not gonna be able to save the whole Crunchyroll
library. No.
Yeah, library. So you have to kind of pick and choose what you would want to watch in the case of that. So, and I guess like what is it like? Whenever you go on these flights and you can't use
Wi-Fi.
A lot of time they'll have Wi-Fi on the flights,
not a lot of new flights do have Wi-Fi. So I mean, look. For some people, it may work for them, like if you're a big Crunchyroll spender. But as for me, the guy who just uses Crunchyroll as a streaming service, I'm good with what I got. I don't need to pay any extra. Like if I'm gonna order something, I'll just go on Amazon or some shit, get it for the super low or something. But letting the people out there know what's up. But that's all the news we have this week. We're gonna get into discussion. After our discussion, we have an interview with the cosplayer by the name of NinjaYoyo. Super, super dope. She comes and talks about everything about cosplaying, how you get into it, the price range, branding yourself if you're a cosplayer, the whole business behind cosplaying. And just it's a really, really, really dope interview. And I'm really excited because I'm gonna make some future content with NinjaYoyo. She's super, super dope. So we get into that. But before we do that, me and Chris just wanted to talk about some of the things we've been watching, reading, talk about some of the better spin-off mangas. Just a quick little discussion. I gotta say, on Netflix, there's this anime called The Great Pretender. It's pretty fucking good. It is pretty damn good. It's about this guy who thinks he's the best con man in Japan. Then he meets this guy from France and who is probably one of the biggest con men in the world. And they go to America and they con. Their whole deal is to con this mafia boss to make him think he's buying drugs. And he ends up buying candy from him. The FBI's after him. The mafia's after him. Shit's crazy. It falls in line of my type of storytelling that I like, where it's real world aspect. Super, super dope. Just want to recommend everybody The Great Pretender. Chris, you said you've been reading Chainsaw Man. Caught up. Don't spoil anything because I'm behind. But that's
all
it.
I gotta say is I'm not gonna spoil nothing, but I will say for those who have not started Chainsaw Man, have not made the decision to start it, don't know if it's good, don't know if they want to watch it, I would tell you or read it. I would tell you it's definitely one of the best manga I've read in a long time. Like it's in my top, I want to say even top 5 Shonen Jump, like not all time, but especially running right now. It's definitely broken into my top 5 Shonen Jump. And don't watch it unless you want to be scarred, because this shit will scar you emotionally and mentally, because it's just fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Everything that happens in here, it's just emotional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's very sad.
It took me on a roller coaster of emotions from the beginning, and then by the time you get to the end, you're like, oh my god, because they give you a bunch of ups and downs. They give you a lot of exposition and shit like that. I just love this kind of style coming out of Shonen Jump, because it's very adult, it's very graphic, and you know, it's very deep. It's not your typical happy-go-lucky shonen plot. You feel me? And we need more content like this. So I definitely gotta recommend Chainsaw Man. Anybody that reads manga, but I feel like you've been on this wave too. But the Kaiju number 8, another one.
That's my jam. That is my jam. Speaking of that, we put out a video, 5 reasons why you should be reading Kaiju number 8. That's on the YouTube right now. Super, super dope. That's going to lead into us reviewing Kaiju number 8 every week when it drops. The new drop will be in like 2 days. So we'll have a new video out about that in 2 days. But that manga's great. Not to step on the video that we have already out, but like the fact that Kafka is 32 years old and has failed at his dream of joining the Defense Force, and we see this as a second chance of him trying to live out his dream. That entices me, because it's like, it's not following this high school student that thinks he can do it. It's not following this young kid that's like, oh yeah, I have the spunk, I can do this. I'm this badass main character. No, it follows this man who has lost for all intents and purposes. He has lost and has fucking taken L's in his life and is a loser. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. He is a loser, but he has the heart of a champion. Like, he finds like, yo, man, I shouldn't have given up on myself. And it's about not giving up on your dreams. And I really love it. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the fucking the way the Defense Force looks in their exosuits and all the different guns and shit. Like, nah, Kaiju number 8 has potential to be something special for Shonen Jump. Another thing, gotta give you props. You put me on it. I'm so deep. I'm almost caught up. Eden Zero, man. And this leads into like good spin-off manga, like how seeing mangaka after their premiere work go and do something next, can they succeed? And we saw with Kishi didn't succeed, where Tite Kubo's attempting it right now. And Mashima kind of succeeded. No, let me not even say kinda. Mashima kind of blew it out the water. Like,
I think so. I think we'll see that when the anime drops.
Eden Zero, to me, I like more than Fairy Tail. Like, 1,000%.
I think it's twice as good as Fairy Tail in every aspect that Fairy Tail covered, which I love Fairy Tail. It was very, I always say Fairy Tail gets a lot of unnecessary hate in the community because it's not top tier, but if we don't hate on Dragon Ball, we can't hate on Fairy Tail, because they're both just very lighthearted stories that don't take
themselves serious, yeah.
Focus on action, focus on comedy, focus on etchy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you buy it for the original, you know what I'm saying, unique character designs, unique world building, and the characters. You love the characters, and you love the Mashima's writing style, you love Toriyama's writing style. But I feel like Eden Zero hit everything that Fairy Tail hit, except a little bit more polished,
a little more mature.
Definitely a little bit more mature.
Storytelling, yes, it's still about the power of friendship, but it just seems a tighter story. It seems like a more intriguing story with the different witches of the Eden Zero, the different like his different sabers or his different like hermit, the queen, um Homura's master, just the different people that are involved. I love the crew. I love Professor Weiss. Not gonna get too much into that because that's a whole story beat in itself. But like everything about Eden Zero, we're gonna make an Eden Zero video very soon. I should be caught up by the end of the week. So you should expect an Eden Zero sometime next week. But I'm hyped, man. I love this story.
I'm just so ready for the animated drop because then I can really get a grasp of how the fairy tale fans react to it. Because I've been a Mashima fan since I was a kid, and my mom used to take me to Barnes and Noble Books a Million
Read
and
Maze Runner or Maze, whatever it is. Wave Runner.
Rave Master.
Rave Master. That's what it is.
I was reading the fuck out of Rave Master when I was a kid, and that was just the whole art style enticed me because if you know anything about Toriyama, you know anything about Kubo, they have these signature art styles for character designs, and Mashima has one of the most easily, like I could tell if Mashima drew it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
It's very similar to Oda, but it's different in so many different ways. You could tell he drew influence from him. You know what I'm saying? In his art style, but definitely everything Mashima touches, I love it. Like even the Mashima Heroes because his name is Hero Mashima, but the Mashima Heroes anime where it's a crossover of all three. It's like Eden Zero mixed with Rave Master mixed with Fairy Tail. Gas pack. I read all 12 chapters. I'm pre-ordered the fucking hard copy. I'm itching for that shit to drop. We need an anime OVA of that as well because we got the Rave Master Fairy Tail one, but I'm just hyped for the Eden Zero hype to come.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. I'm super, super excited for that. I'm trying to think of some other stuff that I've been reading and watching. Undead Unluck, of course, video coming for that soon. Spy Family video coming very, very soon. It's probably the next video I'm going to make.
I'm about to read that one too soon. Like Spy Family's next up on my read list.
And Spy Family's great just because it, again, with Shonen Jump, I think what's making some of these greatness, some of these new things stand out is that they're so different from the typical approach. And we said this last year, I'm sick of demons. I'm sick of magic. I'm sick of demon hunters. I'm sick of Shinigami. I'm sick of all that shit. And the thing that like Kaiju number 8, Chainsaw Man, even Jujutsu Kaisen to an extent, Burn the Witch, Spy Family, they're all different. And Spy Family focus in on this spy whose mission is to make a surrogate family to infiltrate this school to take down one of the nation's top like corrupt government like employees. And it's nuts. He partners with this assassin to be the mom figure, and then they have this telekinetic kid who is like a science experiment, and she has to go level up in school so they can make bureaucratic moves as a family. Thus, this is his mission the whole time. Shit is insane. Like, that is such an interesting concept to put in Shonen Jump. I absolutely love it. And video, like I said, video coming soon. Between that, Kaiju number 8, JJK, Chainsaw Man, Shonen Jump's in good hands. And of course, My Hero's killing it. Like, we're in a war arc right now. Shit, some sad shit just popped off. Like, gosh, love to
catching up on My Hero soon.
Love to the God. That's all I'm gonna say. Love to the God. Like,
I seen it taking over. I seen that shit in Japan where they had the whole My Hero like promotion in the walls. I was like, that shit's hard.
No, bro, look, My Hero is on one right now. So, anything else you've been watching, reading that you want to discuss?
Just some random shit, like all over the place. Like I've been really watching something called Twin Exorcist, Twin something.
I know what that is.
And that shit's kind of cool. It's nothing too special. I'm on like episode 3 or 4. I've been watching, of course, like, Rent a Girlfriend, which I feel like is a really good, like kind of, it's random as fuck, crazy. It's not what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? It kind of is, but it kind of ain't. Like if you watch it, it got a lot of heart to it, and it's definitely game changing in its own genre. It's doing some shit that I haven't seen get done before in anime. So I'm hyped to see how that.
Hell yeah!
Pushing that shit. Crunchyroll is pushing Rent a Girlfriend right now. Like that's everywhere. I think if I scroll to the top of Crunchyroll right now, it's probably at the banner on the top. Either that or God of High School.
One of them.
Matter of fact, we were talking about like spinoffs and shit too. I was reading Kubo's original, like before Bleach, Zombie Powder. That shit is gas, and I wish it would have never got canceled. Apparently, it got the axe from Shonen Jump. It must have. The only reason I'm thinking it got the axe is because it must have been going up against some gas. Like that must have been around the time when Hunter x Hunter and Naruto was getting started or something, some shit like that. Because Zombie Powder was hard. I don't know how after 26 chapters you could chop something like that because it looked like it was going. The main character is hard. You know what I'm saying?
That's like shit. That's like Hirokoshi's like pre shit, like Barrage and all his pre stuff that he did before My Hero. All some of those shits is super gas. So
and I was putting that on my read list. On like last night I was updating my anime list, and that one is when I put in the plan to read because I was like, what the fuck? Horikoshi got other shit besides My Hero. As a matter of fact, you know how at the end of each chapter Shonen Jump, I don't know if it's Yanko, I don't know who posts it, but I know somebody posts the last page of Shonen Jump and translates it for Twitter, and it's always like the mangaka's comments each week. And Horikoshi had said something one of the past few weeks about one of his prior works, and I was like, wait, you have prior published works?
Yep.
So I'm like diving into that. I'm a big stan of like Soul Eater and Fire Force and like looking at them too, and then like Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. So I love seeing mangaka's other works. Like Oda, you look at Oda's pre-One Piece shit, and it's all just different manga that's prototypes of One Piece.
Yeah, it's like just Romance Dawn, and it's just everything leading up to what will eventually come. It's gonna be interesting when he finishes, if he's gonna do something else. I don't know if he will, because like it's gonna be hard. Like, and it's crazy because we're talking about Tai Kubo doing it. We're talking about Okubo with Soul Eater doing it with Fire Force. One Piece is different though, man. It's gone on for so long, and for Oda to start something new, it's like people would automatically expect a whole nother 1,000+ chapters, and like Oda can't do that again, bro. Like, there's no way.
Oda's not about to drop another like. I feel like it's One Piece forever. Anything that comes out of Oda's
he would
canon,
go into his like 60s and 80s doing that. Like, there's no way. There's no fucking way.
I just see nothing but endless One Piece like spin-offs, backstories, shit.
Speaking
like
of
that,
you know what I'm saying?
shit,
we're about to get a spin-off that I have been not reading the novel on purpose, but Boichi, who I am a fan of all his other work, like more so than what he does with Dr. Stone, like Wallman, Sunken Rock. That's my Boichi bag. But Boichi's about to do the light. He's turning the Ace light novel into a manga, and that's about to drop. And I am super excited for that.
Same. I'm getting like whenever that drops, I'm copping a hard copy because I need that on my shelf. And I'm
that's
already
probably one I do too.
Like the Zoro chapter he did.
Great.
Like it was an early One Piece chapter.
Yeah, the Mihawk battle.
And that shit was gas packed. I just love Boichi's art style. He's raw with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Boichi's somebody whose his other work is probably better than the work that you know him for. If I'm being honest.
Speaking of Boichi, dude, and this is kind of random. I wouldn't even think about this when we were talking about this earlier. But speaking of spinoffs where like Boichi does One Piece, guess who else did a One Piece spinoff? And I rated that. Who? Food Wars. I forget the author.
The Sanji one.
The Sanji one. I read that shit the other day. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Food Wars has a Sanji spinoff," and it was kind of hard. Like I watched it. I read it. I was like, "This is badass."
Sanji versus Soma. I love that because Soma's my guy. Yeah, no, that shit is hard. Shout out to the Food Wars guy. He dropped that supernatural psychic shit he dropped on Shonen Jump recently. It was like a one shot. It was like right after the Death Note one shot that took the world by storm. And it was like a psychic detective who like shudders at the looks of girls and like is super horny to like not just hot women but all women. Like he saw an old woman, he was like, let me love you, girl. And it was just like, oh, okay, this guy. But nah, super dope. But that's all we've been reading. We just wanted to catch all up. Go ahead.
I forgot about one. I got one more, and this is just some throw it off shit. But when we talking about like how the mangaka do other shit, the dude Yusuke Murata, I want to say his name is from One Punch Man. I don't know if it's the same dude who works with Mob Psycho, but I know it's the dude who does One Punch Man for sure. He did a one shot whenever Jump Superstars came out, like the game, the crossover Shonen Jump game, and he had like a one shot called Jump Superstars, whatever the game was called, Ultimate Jump Star something. And he did like a manga chapter about how like a kid was playing the game, got sucked into the game on some isekai shit, you feel me? And then he's playing with Naruto, Bobobo, Luffy and Naruto. And I feel like that's just it was a hard ass one shot of just like a kind of a crossover between these four characters, but the dude who draws One Punch Man drew it. So I would suggest
I'm gonna have to peep that.
Yeah, I'd recommend that because it's just something to throw it off, but it's really dope to read. You know what I'm saying? The art style was refreshing.
Hell yeah. Well, if y'all have any suggestions that y'all want us to check out, talk about on the network, or just read or watch in general, y'all let us know at ChrisSGE, at LynBWT. Y'all get at us. But with that being said, let's get into the interview right now with NinjaYoyo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for this week's discussion, we always like to bring in people in the anime community. And I was thinking like, all right, well, we haven't had many cons this year, but I wanted to bring someone from the cosplay community to explain, how that works, how they got into cosplaying, how affordable is cosplaying for the average fan and whatnot. But we got cosplayer Ninja on here. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing swell, and how are you?
I'm all right, can't complain. As well as one can do in said times. That's what I always tell people.
Word.
Like, every time someone asks me, I'm like, as well as one can do. Like, my family's okay, my loved one's okay, and I'm all right. So, how has the pandemic been for you, especially since no cons this year? And I feel the pain because I was supposed to do a lot of live pods at some cons this year.
Yeah.
So, like, I understand, and that's something that's like your bread and butter, and like how you make income, I assume, through cosplay. Well, at least one form.
I mean, it's like a drop in the puddle for what kind of, but I get paid for some stuff. Overall, I mean, it's been rough, obviously, on multiple fronts, from the social aspect, from, the content aspect, so on and so forth. We're trying all to make do and everything. I actually was a cosplay judge yesterday for a virtual con. Because,
How was that?
It was really fun. It was really cool, really inspiring. All the applicants were super awesome. The judges, the con coordinators, everything was as great can be given the circumstances. So I had a good time.
How do you feel, and I think this is a good way to transition into a conversation, how do you feel about the whole virtual con idea? Like, look, moving forward, I feel like that's going to be the wave for at least at least until next year.
I think if nothing else, I think as we get back into the physical aspects, right, that'll still hold its weight. I mean, you got cons like BlizzCon and stuff that's been doing some virtual components here for the past few years. So, I mean, in addition to the physical stuff. So I do think that the two will be married at some point. But of course, for now, this is pretty much all we got. Yeah. And so it's just going to get kind of perfected. The more, cons that pop up, the better it'll get, or at least the more streamlined it will get.
100%. I think the best con I've seen, and granted, this shouldn't be used as a reference because it was kind of pre-recorded and it was by like a company that has millions of dollars to spend. But DC Fandom was really well done. Like, yeah. But it was 100% pre-recorded. If we're going for something more live, I think Comic-Con at Home did a fairly decent job for what they had. So moving forward, it's going to be interesting to see how these cons adjust and how we make things happen.
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially the big guys, they'll kind of nail that down pretty quickly, especially once they see that they can kind of pick their own date and get their own hype. Companies were already kind of doing that anyway. They were breaking away from stuff like E3 and all this stuff to kind of do their own gig. And now it's proving that if you kind of pick the right day and you put your bread and butter out, then it'll kind of isolate this full spectrum, this big bubble of excitement,
just promo hype and everything, all above. Just one day on the end, like DC ran the internet for a weekend, and it was nuts. And I think companies are gonna see that. Like, I would not be surprised if Disney and Marvel do something soon, because it's like they have so much stuff in the can, and it's just like I know they have to promo it eventually. But I want to start talking some cosplay. What got you into cosplaying, and just give us that little story, and then how you choose your characters you do, and just break down the spiel of what got you into it and how you choose who you choose to cosplay.
Sure. There are kind of two parts to this saga. My very, very first, I'm gonna get on this con floor and cosplay was January 2014, Wizard World New Orleans. I knew what cons were. I'd only been to one really small, random Alabama Boondock Con. I'm not even from Alabama, but that's just where I ended up. So I don't really count that one. But the first, like, oh, I'm going to actually try to do something was Wizard World New Orleans 2014. The process for picking that character, which ultimately ended up being Black Canary, was that A, of course, I really love her. I love the character. And B, I was trying my best to avoid racist trolls. So I was like, let me pick someone with the name Black in it, so I won't just be Black so-and-so, because I just want to be the character, right?
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes of being on the con floor, someone made a joke, oh, you're like the Black Canary. And that moment kind of showed me, like, I could just cosplay whoever I want, when I want. I don't have to try to put myself in a box for anything. So I kind of just started playing around with different stuff the past few years. And then 2017, 2018, I was like, let me actually get more into the more social aspects of cosplay, because my bachelor's is in public relations and my master's in strategic communications, like advertising. And I was like, there's a way to do media relations and cosplay and make it work. So that's when I actually started like putting my nose down and like trying to actually like conceptualize and put stuff together and do stuff kind of like my own, like, this is it, this is my brand, that's when NinjaYoyo was born. NinjaYoyo was not a thing up until then.
100%.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many ways. All right, I'll touch to the business side after, but being of what you said in the beginning, I can't like help but touch on that elephant in the room. How, being that I know exactly what you're talking about in the cosplay sphere of just racist trolls and seeing how Black people, but more in particular, Black women get treated differently by, I guess, the nerd community based upon who they cosplay. Like, just talk about that and just everything that's been around that, because we've seen a movement of people combating that, which I 100% support. But then we just see, like, for example, I remember when there was some anime character that happened like a couple of months, or like maybe like at the start of 2020, there was this big thing on Twitter, and they were like, oh, she can't dress up as this because she doesn't look like this. And everybody was like, wait, what the hell are you talking about? These are all made up characters anyway.
Well, that could have been any point in time, any year, because that happens all the time. Part of this is a bigger narrative on how Black females are perceived in the country and in the world to begin with, as far as attractiveness goes, sexuality, and just general stereotypes. But we don't have time for all of that. But that definitely does trickle down to the nerd community and definitely into cosplay. You know, we kind of lift ourselves up, you know, seeing each other and stuff like that. And for the most part, it's nothing but love. But every so often, there'll be somebody in the corner, albeit white or not, just hating, basically. And it's rough because it's like we're all kind of outcasts to begin with. And we all are folks running around in cosplay and spandex anyway. Like, you really wouldn't think that would be there, but it is. And it's prominent enough that everybody's not expecting an if. When you put up a cosplay, you're expecting a win. You're expecting someone to say something sideways to you at some point. And it's not being negative. It just happens to more people than you think. But I would say, me personally, the vast majority of the responses I get are comforting, empowering, and it's really motivational to kind of stick with it. And every time I do get something slightly negative, there's like 5 more like positive comments to kind of embrace that.
100%. That I love hearing that. You got to battle that hate with the positivity, and it's like y'all do a kick-ass job of cosplaying, man. So it's like they're just hating just to hate. Like, for example, like look at your Bulma cosplay right now, kick-ass.
Oh, I just threw on this is
and that's slight work. That's slight work.
Yeah, you know, I mean, this is I did custom dye and cut the vest. This is from my Afro Bulma, actually. And the shirt is to represent MomoCon, because I actually found this on the con floor. It's like 5 times 2. It's like a double XL or something. And I cut it up and shrunk it up, and I don't know, just something.
Talk
just
about
a little razzle dazzle.
Talk about a good con find. Now talk to me about just how the process of going about creating these looks for the different characters. How expensive is that, and like how your advice for someone trying to get into cosplay?
The first things first, well, I'll say it this way. Like, the first thing I do is once I get set on a character that I know I'm going to do, that I'm going to do for a particular time or event or whatever, I set a timeline and a budget, and I itemize everything to kind of see what I need and what my outlook is, because, you know, homies got bills. So budgeting, I think, is key. You might go over or under, whatever, but kind of getting a scope on that to begin with kind of lets you know, oh, I can do this now, or I need to wait till later. Any cosplay can be as cheap or as expensive as you want it to be. There's no real rhyme or reason of what you got to do. You can make the whole thing out of cardboard from the back parking lot of Walmart, and it could still look really good. I've seen it look really good. Or you can commission it and pay X amount, or you could buy stuff, make it X amount, or you can hit up Joanne or Michael's or something and make that. It like the budget kind of depends on what you're comfortable with as far as look and what you literally have in your pockets. And you can also make that timeline longer, and then you can budget accordingly. The farthest out I think I've planned out is maybe 3 months. I've never really gone out further beyond that, but I also don't do a lot of armor builds and stuff like that, because some of that stuff, I mean, they'll start planning like a year in advance, which I just have not had the opportunity to do armor yet. So, but even then, I mean, it's kind of what you want to make of it as far as like what you're comfortable with. So I wouldn't say there's like a right or a wrong way to go about that.
100%. What when you choose between, because obviously we can tell you're a big anime fan, and you said your first cosplay was Black Canary, which is a DC Comics character. Yeah. How do you choose between going either the comics route, the anime route, or the video game route?
The first thing I look at is if let's say I'm wearing it for a con, it's definitely like what kind of con this is and the audience is going to be around. So for like something like Wizard World or something that's more comic related, I'm usually going to at least try to pull out the majority of my looks to be comic. If it's something like Anime Week in Atlanta or MomoCon or MechaCon or any of those that are kind of anime forward, I'm going to be more anime centric, because that's the fans that's going to be around. That's going to be the people I vibe off more. I definitely sometimes just do whatever I want to, and that's just, you know, you kind of filter it in. Other than that, I might think of stuff from AM versus PM, because I am one of those crazy people that try to swap midday because, hey, I get super hot or something and I just want to get it off me, or uncomfortable. And it'd be, it's just another opportunity to kind of squeeze something else in, because cons are kind of your bread and butter for like churning out content.
Talk to me about that side of it, the content side. What has been your biggest hurdle as a cosplayer making this content for your social media sites and for your brand? And talk to me just about a little bit about the business aspect of it and what advice you would give to a cosplayer on the business side.
It kind of try not to let the joy get sucked out of it because you get wrapped up in the algorithms and what's going to go viral and what do I need to do, because then it does start feeling like a job and then it's not fun anymore. So I had to do that at one point this year. I just had a lot going on personally, and I was still trying to generate at one point weekly content, and I'm like, hey, I don't really have the stamina that I normally would, because I'm not off the high of a con or anything like that. I'm in my house, I'm still working, and now I got to go home and put together a cosplay or do whatever, you know, buy a bunch of stuff that, and you know, so I had to take a break because I wasn't having fun anymore. I was actually like, you know what, like, I'm not doing this for the right reasons. Yeah. So definitely rule number one is to make sure you're doing it, you know, for the correct reasons, and that you're having fun with it. And then secondly, just kind of study what does best for you. I find it like my gender bends and my Dragon Ball stuff, some of my Naruto stuff, that generally does better for me, and I do better when I post in the morning, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, how to do better. It's just, there's tools and stuff you can look at, download the algorithms and all that stuff, but I just kind of put a little eye on it. I'm like, hey, this posted better than this and this and that and the other, while still making sure it's something that I like to post. And I also don't like to fall into a niche. Like, I don't want to just be that Bulma cosplayer or something like that. So I always try to be like, let me make sure I diversify and throw something out there just to see how it does. Maybe people would like it if I did an Animal Crossing cosplay. So I, threw it out there, So it's really just kind of finding where you kind of fit, where you kind of vibe in, and then just going from there.
100%. What you said about how you choose different communities and you see like how they vibe off of you and whatnot. What has been the most receptive community that you've seen, whether it be like the Dragon Ball fan base, the Naruto fan base, or whichever one? Which one has been the most receptive and I guess the most embracing?
I wouldn't say a community about like fandom. I would just say community in general. And that's definitely going to be just blurs. Like, I mean, as long as you put yourself with it, if you see something negative, kind of retract. But for the most part, I'm a part of some pretty big, cool Facebook groups. And, you have kind of the catch-all of if it's a well-run group, the mods, the admin are going to make sure that BS is kind of, shut off. But I've met a lot of cool people that I would have not met nationwide, worldwide, that I would have not met beyond that. And also, like I said, other Black females are like always like, oh, let's do this project. Oh, let's do this. This is really cool. And, it's just not negative. It's not very competitive, which is great because I feel like we should all be able to uplift each other.
100%.
Yeah.
No, and then that's very, very true. Tell the people where they can find you at on social media, Ninja.
Sure. I am NinjaYoyo Cosplay, of course, and I am on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the NinjaYoyo. All lowercase, not that matters, but that was such an old person thing to say. Like on email, they're like, "Hey, is it in caps?" It doesn't matter. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, at the NinjaYoyo on all major social media platforms.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow her. She has some of the best cosplay out. I really enjoy some of the pieces she puts together. But real quick, before we get up out of here, what's some of your favorite anime, if you had to say?
Of like all time or currently?
Of all you can do of all time and then currently. Let's just have like a little discussion to let your fans know what you vibing to right now.
Can do of currently, I guess that'll be the better start. Currently, or maybe within the past year. Definitely Demon Slayer, definitely Dr. Stone. What am I watching right now? God of High School, Tower of God, Japan Sinks 2020, BNA, Dorohedoro. I mean, the past 2 years has been kind of a renaissance for anime to me.
It really has. Like 2019 started it, and then into 2020, I was kind of, because we review shows like seasonally as the seasons change, it's like I thought that this year was going to be kind of I don't want to say a lull year, but like a slowed down pace from what 2019 was. And we've had some monster hits like Dorohedoro is to me,
it was really
for
good.
anime of the year right now. And then you see the manhwas come in from the webtoons with
definitely
the Crunchyroll exclusive. Those things have been great. Like God of High School is dope, but what it really impressed me was Tower of God.
Man, I'm a huge webtoon fanatic, manhwa. It is like, if you cannot get into it, you are going to kind of get lost because it's going to be the new wave. Like this is the future of storytelling in anime and in storytelling cartoons in general. I mean, people are already looking at manhwa formats or have started. They've been looking at K-drama formats. It's just this different kind of punch kind of way to tell things, and it's really super dope. Crunchyroll, hopefully they don't get sold to somebody that's not got the otaku spirit. Because they're doing a really good job with these originals, and it's super fun to see where everything kind of goes.
No, it's super dope, and hopefully we get to see like American creators make, because we're seeing so many people influenced by anime and manga. Hopefully we'll get to see some like American created anime out there.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of it. I mean, it was okay, but Cannon Busters came out. That was American guy rolled over to Japan and made it, So you're seeing some of that stuff too. This Western flair, which I think is great because it just keeps stuff diverse and it expands, and people kind of find what they like a little better by knowing the tone right off the bat.
100%. How's B&A been? Because that's something that I've been meaning to check out, but it's just been on my back burner.
Yeah, B&A, for as far as I can tell so far, it's just a 13 episode one shot by Studio Trigger on Netflix. It is my favorite Studio Trigger adaptation. I said what I said. I feel like Studio Trigger tends to kind of, I don't want to curse, it tends to kind of drop the ball when they go full 26 episodes. And yes, I've seen parts of their other stuff. The movie Promar was good. So I like Studio Trigger when they keep it
contained,
because they kind of lose their minds. They keep trying to follow like an Evangelion format or something, and they lose me.
Yeah, I know. Look, I can't argue that.
He's good.
I can't argue that at all. So tell some of the fans out there what's some of your favorite of all time.
Oh yeah, all time, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, FLCL, Eureka 7, and I guess I should give it to some type of major shonen just to say that they have a spot. It'd probably be Naruto.
That was funny. I really dug
that. You gotta get one a default spot, and contrary to what everybody believes, it's not Dragon Ball for me, man. I love the character design, but it's just
the story. I'm so happy you said this. The story is just not up to par to things like Naruto, One Piece, other shonen. And then if you go past that spectrum, like you said, with things like Champloo and Bebop and Eureka 7 and all those things, like that's amazing storytelling. Yeah. And like Dragon Ball just doesn't meet the bar of that.
Yeah, I find that a lot of these guys, when they're chasing the money, so they turn out these weekly, monthly, manga, and then it gets convoluted. They forget what color someone's hair is. They don't know. They forget a character exists. Launch, like just these things happen, and so I mean it's fun. Like I'm not knocking it. Obviously, I'm rewatching Dragon Ball right now, the OG, and I really do like it. And I'm like, but then I think about how big the universe kind of gets from there, and I'm just like, man, this little like almost pseudo slice of life little poppy late 80s early 90s thing is like really cool. Like, but
Dragon Ball's so cool, man. And that's the thing. It's like they expand the world but they almost keep it smaller because we never expand past the surfaceness of, oh, this is a guy that Goku has to fight, Goku takes down, and then that's it.
No one's gonna ever be better than that. So there's no point in expanding on that. That the universe is big enough. There's got to be someone as strong as, or if not stronger. Of course, there's a couple of examples, but there's people that's got to be better or whatever. But you can't let people know that because that's their homie. That's their protagonist. So it can't do them like that. That's why you have to do it like how like Naruto. I guess Bleach did it, whatever. But like let them be their. Basically, the God incarnate and call it a day. Just be like, yep, he is the strongest. And then no one can argue it anymore. And just let it be what it is.
100%. Who would you say are some of your favorite new gen main characters? Because we're seeing a lot of new flair from the shonen world and from not. You can give both.
Yeah. I've never been a huge MC person. Like, I've never really got with the main character, with the exception of a couple of people back in the day, like Spike and Lelouch was a really good main character for me from mid-2000s, Code Geass. But now, the first, Senku from Dr. Stone was like, I'm like, I love this guy because it's kind of arrogant, kind of cocky, but not too much. But also, like, I don't know. It's just, it's like, he's not happy-go-lucky, so it's like, it doesn't rub me the wrong way. He's not too sugary, and that's the homie. That's the homie right there. I love, I've cosplayed as Senku. Like, Senku's my guy versus a lot of these newer kids out here, Shinra from Fire Force and Asa, whatever, Black Clover. Like, I can't get, they're too, I can't. But I've never been a big main character person. Like, I hate Goku. Like, he's not the homie to me at all. Vegeta's the homie, though. So it just works. So I do Lily slightly off. Like, I'll take the second string. Like, that's fine. whatever.
I can't argue that. I love me some Vegeta. Again, tell the people they can find you at Ninja. We really appreciate you coming on the show. And yeah, just plug away your social medias again.
Sure, no problem. That's NinjaYoyo Cosplay at the NinjaYoyo on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. My website is casmall.myportfolio.com, and there you go.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow Ninja. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're gonna have to get you to bring you back to when we do this show called Run It Back where we review anime movies. We're gonna have to bring you on because I love your commentary. I really
Thanks, man. Yeah, I talks hot blankety blank.
You can curse. It's no biggie, but
you know.
well, next time, definitely make sure you can curse. No biggie. But with that being said, let's get into the rest of the show. Finish up the show with our reviews. Shout out to NinjaYoyo. Really appreciate you coming on. Y'all make sure y'all go follow her cosplay page. She really does good work. But with that being said, it's time to review some anime. Yes, it's time for the review portion. I kind of want to start off with Fire Force. Fire Force is the hard one. Should we go with hard, save the best for last, and just knock God of High School out?
Let's get God of High School out the way.
Yeah, week this week. This is probably their weakest showing so far, these past 2 episodes. And I know people will be like, it's crucial to the plot. Yeah, it is. But still doesn't change the fact we had a weak this week. So the first one we got is Close Friend, episode 8. The team led by Park Iopo, one of the participants of the considered a top key candidate, faces the team led by Gwim G. Gwim G calls upon his Sherrock, Jack the Ripper, but Iopo uses his antiquated Taikion fighting style rather than relying on his Sherrock. Meanwhile, Han is suspended from the competition after interfering in a match and hitting Jugok. Mira scolds him, but Mori seems distracted. Something he sees on Yippo's back looks familiar. Yippo's the blue-haired homie with the hoodie. We find out that Yippo has connections to Jin Mori's grandfather, who Jin Mori doesn't know where he is right now. Park, the leader of the God of High School tournament, was like, where's your grandpa? He got kidnapped and whatnot. And it's leading Jin Mori to constantly think about it. He learns about this guy, Yippo's backstory, and just how his grandpa gave him a fighting style book for his dad, and how him and his grandpa and the homie's dad were friends. So maybe there's a relationship building between Jin Mori and him. And then we see the other guy who's supposedly like the top 3 strongest blue-haired homie come in with his monster, and Jin Mori and Yippo kind of take care of him really fast. But that's pretty much all that happens in that episode. Unless I forgot something, Krista, but I'm pretty sure that's everything.
If you did, I would not know, because this was one of the hardest episodes to follow and just stick with the whole way through.
Yeah, because the mirror fight happens in the next one.
Yeah, for sure. Like this one, I didn't really care about the blue-haired character. They introduced they opened up some kind of backstory with him, and they know each other from childhood and his grandfather and shit like that. But they wanted you to I feel like they just threw him in there and gave everything too fast.
Q gets his ass busted in this one. The Park Mujin bust Q's ass. That's the other thing that happened. The homie with the glasses who got
yeah.
He got his ass. Park Mujin was like, nigga, who do you think you are?
But man, other than that, bro, that shit was just the episode was just a struggle to get through. I like the next episode, but
this episode is why we didn't drop. This episode is why we didn't drop Anime Talk today. It's because I fell asleep watching it. It was just
for sure.
It was just pretty boring. I
was sitting there the whole time watching this episode. The main thing I was thinking was, man, niggas overhyped God of High School, bro. I can't believe I let it happen, bro. I let it happen to me, bro. I fell for it. But when episode 9 dropped, I was like, okay. I was like, all right. They fell off for 1 week. You know what I'm saying? I remember I had a feeling at the beginning of Tower of God. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta let it keep unfolding.
Exactly. What would you rate episode 8, 1 through 5? This is getting a low rating. I already know.
I give it a 2. You know what I'm saying? 2.5. I'll give it a 2.5 max. You feel me?
I'll give it a 2.9 just to be nice. 2.93, but It's not over. It's nowhere over 3. If you think it is, you're fucking nuts. The next episode we got is episode 9, Cursed and Cornered. After learning that his grandfather, Jin Tai-jin, has been confined, Mori rushes to set him free. Han and Mira await his arrival at the tournament with no idea what's going on. With Mori missing, Han suspended. Mira's forced to kick off the team match alone. She struggles against her opponent, Marin, who evades her attacks and counters with his own sword. When he calls it the national treasure, it begins to glow white and its true form is revealed. Mira unlocks her Shirok in this one, baby. The first one of the squad to unlock their Shirok. Jin Mori goes to the warehouse where he sees his grandpa, and somebody that's fucking with him is that clique. And then Jin Mori ends up beating his ass, then coming to the next fight and whooping that nigga's ass. Jin Mori whoops 2 niggas' asses in a span of 30 minutes. But Yo Mira does her thing. We see her Shirok. She takes on the form of like one of the amazing war veterans or war generals of, I want to say South Korea, but it might be somewhere else. I don't know. She takes on and she gets her own new sword. And basically she's like, yeah, it felt like the Bleach scene where Ichigo's talking to Ichigo, where she talks to herself and she's like, why should I give you this strength? And she's like, I don't deserve it, but I promise I'll get stronger and I'll do right. And he's like, hell yeah, bitch, you gonna do right. And then she gets her Shirok and busts his ass. Busts that black dude's ass. Well, it wasn't even really the black dude. It was like a fake because the real one was fighting, was dead at Jin Mori's warehouse. But then Jin Mori comes in, does his little dragon technique. It's not his Shirok. We have not seen his yet. He hasn't unlocked it yet. But Jin Mori looked pissed because he don't know where his grandpa at, and that shit's fucking with him.
For sure. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. He unleashed the ass kicking of a lifetime upon that random dude that was a part of that team. Because when he kicked that motherfucker with that dragon kick and then he hit him with the double dragon kick, I was like, Jesus Christ, it's over for you, bro. You getting hit with double dragon kick, blue dragon fucking feet coming at your ass, bro. It's over for you.
Yeah,
and
it was
black
bad.
Dude, bro, he was bad. He was all bad since he came out. Like, he took off his little robe, and
Had
the crowd
all
was like,
oil.
ugh.
Yeah, I was like,
Crowd was like, ugh. It was like instant barf. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what the fuck is up with this nigga? Then they showed him. I was like, oh my God. And then they showed his face. I was like, why is his head look like an egg? All uncomfortable with this one. Like, he just made me uncomfortable. And he grabbed Mira, smacked the fuck out of Mira, like, bah, bah. I was like, oh, why?
Yeah.
It was hard to watch Mira get Mira get the fuck smacked out.
But she needed that. She had to grow. She had to unlock her Chirok, and she unlocks it. And now
it made it so much more worth it. So, like, she got them 2 smacks, and it's like it awakened that ass whooping that dude got. So it was like justified. You know what I'm saying?
This was a solid 4 for me. Solid 4 of an episode. They didn't answer many questions. They didn't really ask anymore. It was just like, all right, Mira got her Shirok. Y'all don't know where Jin Tai-jin is. We'll talk about that more next week.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I gotta give this one. I'm gonna give it a 4.4. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give it a little bit high, maybe 4.5. You feel me? Because I really like this one a lot. I really like the whole action sequence at the end when it was like he was beating 2 dudes' asses at once.
That was really
just
dope.
Back and forth in between 2 ass whoopings. I was loving the animation. Even the fight with Yumira, I love seeing her come through whoop ass with the animation style of her ancestor. You know what I'm saying? It was like a different form it looked like, but you could tell like she had like what was it called? Her Shirok? She awakened her Shirok or whatever.
Yeah.
It was amazing to watch that. Like both of those scenes back to back saved my hype for God of High School. Because after episode 8, I was like, damn, all time low for hype. And 9 revived it, and it was like a defibrillator of hype. So I'm ready for episode 10.
My guy was about to cut it after 1 episode.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, that was a low. I'm sitting there like, you know how they got those episodes of certain anime where you gotta like, you watching it and then you just lose yourself. So you gotta run it back because you're like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I'm not even really paying attention. This shit is not catching me. So I had to run that back like 2 times to really get everything clear and be like, and I watched them both back to back. So it's like the first one just wasn't hitting because as soon as the second one hit, my attention was
caught.
100%
Yeah.
there.
No, look, I can't disagree with that. So, you know, but let's get to something that is amazing. Fire Force Season 2. I'm loving it more and more each week. It's becoming a fan favorite. Shinra's amazing. Now we see Ogun balling out. I'm hyped. I love this anime. I really do. Episode 8, Smoldering Malevolence. Shinra hears a voice via an Idola link. Scott, the little mole rat, tells the team about a mysterious woman in black robes that taught him how to speak. who repaired the tabernacle. The team's mission takes a turn when intelligence infernos show up at the oasis. We find out that there's a demon inferno that they have to take out. I don't want to jump too far because, like, okay, so Ogun transforms in this episode, but he doesn't.
That was this one?
Oh, wait, no. That's the next one. I'm tripping out because it was playing the last one I saw, and that was 9. Okay, wait.
He did boot up this episode too, though. Like he whooped some quick ass of like the regular soldiers. Like they had a little fight with them on.
Okay, so we didn't learn. Okay, so no, that's the next episode where we learn about like what's going on in there. So this is just the setup of us learning that there's a demon inferno and then setting up the plan and whatnot. And we learn about the lady who is like has Idola powers, who's an Idola burst or whatever, and how she made the forest and whatnot, and how Shinra keeps talking to her. This is all set up for the next episode. The next episode is where shit gets crazy.
For sure. And I ain't gonna lie, this episode set up like I love the end of this episode. Whenever Arthur, that because the episode ends with them like trying to decipher like the little rocks with the numbers on them, and
the pie shit.
Yeah,
no,
like
that's that's all next episode.
No, that's how it starts off. Like
okay.
the end of the episode, like the last thing that happens before the episode ends is that they're trying to decipher what's going on, and then Arthur goes, "This is pie," and they said, "What?" And Arthur just like he kind of said like a couple things like what was it? Translated a couple things, and they look like, "What the fuck? How does he know that?" And the episode ended. I thought that was the best like way to end the episode because it's like, "What the fuck? How does he know what's going on?" And then the next episode opens, and he really don't like he kind of did, but he kind of didn't. You know what I'm saying?
This one I'm gonna give a solid 4. I'm saving my high rating for next episode because, like I said, this is all just set up. We learn about another Idola burst. But the next one is where we learn some crazy shit. We get a mention of Joker, who's hasn't been mentioned in a while. So let's get into the next episode. Oh, what would you rank this one? 1 through 5.
Oh, that's a good 4 for me too.
Yeah, solid 4. Nothing more, nothing less. The next one, episode 9, The Core. Pan, Arthur, and Lick continue the investigation into the tabernacle, while outside the rest of the team has their hands full fighting off an inferno attack. Shinra has an idea on how to beat them, but needs Ogun to buy him some time. So let's wait to do the Ogun stuff. Let's talk about Lick, Pan, and Arthur. So they're going in there, and Lick figures out that, yo, this is ran by a person. Like, they're using all of the person's energy to fucking run the Amaterasu or the tabernacle, the one that this is, and it's like a siphoning of their power, and they're a human sacrifice. And that was Joker's like investigation that he did on his own. So who does Joker work for? Does Joker work for the Fire Force? Does Joker work for the company? Is Joker just doing this on his own? Like, what's up with all that? That shit blew my mind. Human sacrifices. That was like, all right, we're finally getting some payoff on all this Idola burst, Idola link shit.
Yeah, we definitely seeing, and I'm not gonna lie, how religious this show is. Everything just ties into each other. How religious it is. It's like freaky how cult like this shit can get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what highlighted these last 2 episodes for me. Just the cult like qualities of the shit that's going on in this world.
Yep, no, 1,000%. Then we get outside. Shinra's talking to her, and she's like, I can't give you a full evangelist blessing. All you can get is a second. But before he even gets that, he's like, yo, give me some time. Let me talk to her. And Tamaki's like, oh, I'll help. And Ogun's like, nah, bitch. Sit down. Sit down for a second. Let me do my thing. Ogun, I think it's Inky or it's Inky Flames or something. He gets all his shit on him.
It is Inky Flames.
Inky Flames. He does that special move, and we learn that Ogun in this form is as strong as Commander Burns, which is nuts. It's like, okay, this dude is like meets Benny Maru and Commander Burns in strength, but he can only do it for a little while. But we saw him whoop that Inferno's ass. He was just busting ass, and then Tamaki helps for a little bit. Juggernaut does some comedic shit, but it's mainly just Ogun whipping ass. And at the end, Shinra's like, okay, I'll get I got a second, I'll make it do what it do, because the woman has been burning her power for so long. It's like this human sacrifice. She doesn't have much more time left, and all she wants Shinra to do is protect the forest. And she's like, I'll give you a second. That's all I can give you of Evangelist blessing. So Shinra's gonna have to snap his fingers or do the rock and roll shit and make it pop in 1 second and defeat that demon Inferno. If not, shit's looking bad. They're not gonna be able to beat him.
For sure. I'm about to start reading the manga after this. Cause I gotta see what happens next. You know what I'm saying? Like this one of them ones. I'm about to start reading the manga. Like as soon as this season's over, I'm not gonna be able to stop reading.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be able to stop watching it.
That's what happened after season 1, just because people told me it was good. Season 2 just elevated to another level. I'm fighting each week not to read the manga because I just want to enjoy the anime. But as soon as it's over, there's no not waiting because like I gotta know what happens.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Especially if we see Benimaru and Joker and Burns fight at the end of the season, which they keep showing in that intro. Yo, I'm not gonna stop myself. There's no way.
Yeah, the intro was hard too. Like I've been watching the intros because you were saying they tease and shit.
They do.
I know what to peep for. Like watching them, like the past 2 episodes I watched them, I was like, I don't know what was different about them.
All right,
I gotta go back to the other ones and see too.
You gotta peep Joker when they show him and it shows him growing up and like then it shows Burns' eye. Like there's that connection. But in the beginning, when they show all the Idola bursts, like they show that lady, they show fucking whatever, Humea, then they show Sho, then they show Shinra, and then they show Inca, and then they show a nigga that's behind fire. We see him cloaked, then we see another one cloaked, and then some more pillars. So like I don't know if we're going to meet another Idola burst this season. Hopefully we do. That shit'll be crazy, but I'm interested in like who's inside of the Amaterasu back at Tokyo. Like
for sure.
Did Vulcan's family know about this? Like like there's so many questions. Like is Vulcan's family evil? Like what's going on? Like they're just straight human sacrificing. Does the company know about this? Does the company, does the Fire Force organization, does the church, or does the billion dollar company that supplies all of this know? Who knows? Because someone knows.
For sure.
And maybe that's what the evangelists know because they're trying to trigger another great cataclysm by using the burst. And that shit's going to be crazy, man. This
with every answer, you get more questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like this way of the mystery unfolding. You know what I'm saying? And Fire Force definitely has more shit going on with it than I thought first season. Like, second season, we're getting a lot more exposition. We're getting a lot more action. And I'm liking to see the story of where this is going. You know what I'm saying?
And I love that Ogun is a badass. Like, this episode's a 5 for me.
Oh, this is a 5 for me too. I was about to say, like, I was thinking that since the beginning. I'm like 5. There's no way it's not because first of all, you get a lot of exposition. You get a lot of, like you said,
you get answers
for the first time. You get answers,
but then you get more questions.
Get more world building. Exactly, you get more questions. You get more world building to where they gave you an answer, but they did it in the perfect mystery fashion to where you know a little bit now, but now you need to know more, and it keeps you hooked. And at the same time, you're getting all that exposition, A1 quality exposition in an episode
with grade A fights.
Pumped with grade A action. Like the thing is, you can't. There's a lot of stories that can't do both. You could do one, then you do the other, then you do one, then you do the other.
We just saw it with God of High School.
Are slow. Exactly.
We literally just saw it where they did one episode that was exposition that was boring as fuck, and then they did the fight. And this one, not only did they have an episode before that was straight exposition and setup, but it was where the setup paid off 2 times fold in the next episode, and it just was worth everything we watched before. I'm so like Fire Force week to week. Fire Force might be the best shonen anime released this year. It really might. Like, and I'm not saying it's better than Dorohedoro or some of the stuff, or maybe Tower of God, but like in terms of shonen properties, I don't know nothing better than it right now.
Wait, Overhaul was last year?
Man,
I know season 4 ended this year, but Overhaul was probably last year. Like I think it ended.
It started last year,
and December. January.
It started in November, and the Overhaul arc ended in January, and then we got the Gentle shit this year.
Okay, so this don't count. We got Gentle. That doesn't count.
Yeah, so that's what I'm not. I don't count My Hero, especially when they do the half one year, half another year. But in terms of just what Fire Force has been doing, it's just been amazing, man. It really has. Got to give it its props. Got 2 5s from us this week. Krista, that's all we got this week, man. Like you said, I'm gonna be reading the Fire Force manga. It's coming each week. That's more so than God of High School. I look forward every Friday to watch Fire Force because
like I'm not gonna lie, that animation with that whole Ogun fight was.
They only had one. Okay, let me say this. If I'm gonna be negative, the first bad animation episode we saw was the episode before the Ogun fight. That was the first one because it was ass. It was bad. Like it was
like
really
the fights. They were like skipping shit. It was weird. It was like
that was episode 8. but I get why, because they've been using budget all the way up to episode 8, and then episode 9 uses budget. So it's like, all right, if we're gonna slack off, it's gonna be on episode 8. If that's my one nitpick, it's just the animation was pretty, because like Ogun's face was kind of like fucked up, Arthur's face was fucked up, like everybody's
it was looking like I was watching manga panels versus watching.
Yeah, it was
anime.
weird. It was weird. It was super, super weird. I was like, damn, the budget went out on 8. Like 8 didn't get no money behind it.
For sure.
But other than that shit was gas packed. But Krista, tell the people where they can find you at on social media and what you got coming up.
Find your boy everywhere at Krista SJE on Twitter, on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Krista Space SJE. If you're looking on Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube for AMV. Definitely got some music dropping. I got Grand Line dropping with Nick Grand. And I got a Rivals 2 dropping with Fade soon. We still working out all the Twitch shit. We got a lot of videos about to drop as well. But I've been more active on, I got a Crunchyroll, the Crunchyroll account, the user account. So I made a couple groups on my Crunchyroll. If y'all want to go fuck with my Crunchyroll account, I got a lot of shit up there. And my anime list, I will be updating my anime list, .net or whatever, Mal. I'll be updating that constantly. I'm trying to get all my manga, like everything that I've ever read and what I rated and what I rank it, so everybody can go there and see everything, everything I've seen and what I recommend from top to bottom.
100%. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Chris on all his social media. Can't wait for Rivals Part 2. Super excited for that. A new running back between the boys will be coming out soon. We will have that coming soon. We're either going to do Boy and the Beast, which is an amazing movie, or Ninja Scroll. That's coming very, very soon. An Eden Zero video coming very, very soon. Chris is going to make a Chainsaw Man video coming very, very soon. A lot of manga content dropping. And like we said, if you didn't check out our 5 reasons why you should be reading Kaiju number 8, check that out on the YouTube. Be sure to check out the most recent episode of Bros Who Binge on the YouTube. But other than that, you can follow me at LinBWT. Follow Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube because we got a lot of dope stuff dropping. And this Thursday, check out the Bros Who Think podcast. But other than that, for NinjaYoyo, for Krista, my name is Lyndon. You guys have a great one. We will talk to you guys next week with some new content. Until then, have a good one and peace.